BBOR Black Box Online Radio, coming to you from West Virginia. BlackBoxNed88 on Instagram for the bonus podcast. And just a quick reminder, every Monday is Zodiac Mondays. Wednesday is an Ask Me Anything. That's an AMA, so please drop your questions below for things that you would like discussed here on the show. And Friday is an Anything Goes. Any subject is fair game, mostly talking about true crime, serial killers, the Zodiac Killer, but any subject is welcome. All right, so please share some ideas in the comment section about what you would like to hear about on this channel, and let's get started. Okay, hello everybody. It is Thursday, and on Thursdays this year, I've been doing a regular segment about the disappearance of Donna Lass from 1970. Donna Lass disappeared on September 6th of that year as she was working the 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino in State Line, Nevada. The hotel is still there, but it has been renamed the Hard Rock Hotel. And I started this series in the summer, and it is now December, so it's been going on for a couple months, several months actually, and it went much longer than I expected, but it is winding down now, so I will definitely do a long concluding episode to just share all of my observations about the disappearance of Donna Lass, and of course a big recap of everything that has been encountered throughout the series, so please stay tuned for that, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is a great time to do so. However, as you can see from the title here, there is an announcement that I do genuinely want to share with you, and it comes to us from Mike Morford of ZodiacKiller.net, formerly of ZodiacKillersite.com, and I interviewed Mike Morford on the Zodiac Killer channel, Interviews with the Experts series. I'm also the host of that program, and he shared some info with me about the disappearance of Donna Lass. She went missing on September 6th of 1970. On September 7th of that year, that would have been the next day, she was supposed to have a meeting with her friend, Joanne Getchie. Joanne was supposed to drive from California to State Line, Nevada to see Donna's new apartment. They were supposed to spend Labor Day together, and then Joanne was going to drive back to California. A very short, friendly get-together. However, of course, Joanne was unable to meet up with Donna Lass because Donna disappeared and has never been located to this day. Mike Morford has interviewed Joanne Getchie, the former roommate of Donna Lass. However, as I said, she was in California. She was Donna Lass's roommate when Donna worked in San Francisco at Letterman General Hospital, very close to the scene of the Stein murder, as I understand. That's the murder of Paul Stein, the final confirmed Zodiac crime, which occurred on October 11th of 1969. And Morph wrote to me saying, "Nid, just letting you know an update about the project on Lake Tahoe. I didn't want to lose the interview with Donna's roommate, so I am releasing it on my podcast along with a discussion about the private investigator report in her case. I am releasing it on December 18th, and this is for 2021, just in case somebody is listening to that in the future. As I said, it is December now. It is actually December 2nd at the time of this recording, but if you would like to follow along with this, in addition to subscribing to Black Box Online Radio, you can follow Morph's show, and you can get all the updates about his podcast. He hosts a couple different programs. You can follow him on Twitter at ZodiacKillerNet. One more time, at ZodiacKillerNet, all one word. And of course, he is the webmaster of ZodiacKiller.net, formerly ZodiacKillersite.com, and he is also the host of Zodiac Speaking, along with Richard Grinnell. In addition to receiving that message from Morph, I also got one from Tom Voigt of ZodiacKiller.com. And I think the only way I can make that email that Tom Voigt sent me have any meaning to you guys is if I go to ZodiacKiller.com and read off his post on Donna Lass to provide some context. And it says that Donna Lass went missing on September 6th of 1970, which was a Saturday, At the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino, Zodiac victim? Nothing solid connects Donna Lass to the Zodiac case other than perhaps the fact that she was living just a few blocks from the scene of the Zodiac's October 11th, 1969 murder of Paul Stein. A postcard supposedly from the Zodiac was received by the San Francisco Chronicle on March 22nd of 1971, with the implication that Lass was a murder victim, However, the postcard contained no proof, as the Zodiac was known for including, and this refers to things like in the first letter, I will state some facts that only I and the police know, or that the Zodiac mailed in a piece of Paul Stein's bloody shirt. None of that is included. However, the postcard contained no proof, as the Zodiac was known for including. In 1999, a revealed. Excuse me. I gotta get this better. In 1999, a retired detective revealed to me that a former Zodiac investigator had admitted to forging the postcard. And I had sent Tom Voigt a message a long time ago asking just about what really is the full story because there is no one mentioned by name. So I simply asked him, quite a while ago, who were the people involved in that story. And he responded saying, Hi, Ned. Back in 1998, I was told by Harvey Hines that during a private conversation between Hines and Inspector Toschi had confessed to writing the Pines card. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. So if you do read that entry on ZodiacKiller.com by yourself, then the people that he's talking about are Harvey Hines and Dave Toschi, and that Harvey Hines obtained the information that Dave Toschi fabricated the Pines card, the one that was mailed connecting the Zodiac Killer to the Lake Tahoe region. I should also point out that Dave Toschi is a suspect in the. Maybe suspect isn't the right word. He has been accused of forging the 1978 letter, but I certainly can't say that he actually forged the Pines card. I only learned about this very recently. One interesting tidbit of info regarding Donna Lass that your listeners might not be aware of is that she was from tiny Beresford, South Dakota, population 1,600 in 1966. In January of 1966, Richard Gaikowski was in Beresford for some reason on his way to Albany, New York, and he mailed a postcard from Beresford. Both Lass and Gaikowski had a medical background. And as I said, Donna Lass was a nurse. She was working at Letterman General Hospital, and she was the nurse at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel and Casino at the first aid station. Gaikowski's medical background was in the Army. He was an Army medic. Both were from South Dakota, and both ended up in San Francisco at the same time in the late 1960s. So that is something that Tom Voigt shared here. As for Harvey Hines telling the story, I also don't think that Harvey Hines has the best credibility, and I can't even quite put my finger on it. It's just something about him and his analysis rubs me the wrong way. Maybe it's because of the solution he provided to the Z13 cipher, which drew him toward Lawrence Kane, that says name Kane, born in 1924. I've never thought that that was a very credible solution, and mostly because Harvey Hines says we're looking for a Jewish man who has the name Cain, and he's born in 1924 because there are 3/8 with circles around them. Some people say it's a sign of Taurus, other people say that they are genuinely the number 8. And you're looking for a Jewish man because the Hebrew language is written from right to left, and you have to read his solution to the Z13 cipher from right to left. However, that's not true. You're reading the letters from left to right. Name Cain, born in 1924. It's just the word order is from right to left. So I don't think that that is consistent at all. I do not like Heinz's solution, and I also just have heard other stories about how his credibility is questionable. But someone, I don't mean to go off on an enormous tangent right now, but someone actually posted this in the Facebook group, the Zodiac Killer Library. I'll just call her Sharon. And she said, should Lawrence Kane be discounted as a Zodiac suspect? Because the Zodiac used the term Christmas multiple times, even saying Happy Christmas in the Melvin Belli letter. And if Lawrence Kane is Jewish, Christmas is not a Jewish holiday. Would he have done that? Or more importantly, that Christmas was written Christ Mass. It always had that additional S. Maybe not always, 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 but in the examples that I can think of, the murder of the two teenagers last Christmas, but it's spelled Christ Mass. That's one of the most famous Zodiac misspellings. Does that suggest that the Zodiac was not Jewish? I mean, I think that's a really interesting observation. Again, it's not like I can tell you 100% what truly happened, but that's some food for thought. You can respond to that in the comments section down below. And the final thing that I would share with you in this episode is I am going to be doing a new Thursday podcast in the future, or maybe a new weekly segment, a new deep dive segment, and you guys have been voting on them in the previous episodes. And I would like to know what podcast would you like to hear about? What segment would you like to hear about for a weekly deep dive investigation? Because this series on the disappearance of Donna Lass is winding down. However, the four choices that I would like you guys to vote on: would you like to hear about number 1, Jack the Ripper, number 2, the Long Island serial killer, number 3, D.B. Cooper, or number 4, an open discussion about serial killers? I mean, you can put your response down in the comments section, and anything is fair game. Just feel free to say, I vote for 1, or you can say, I vote for which subject you want to choose. One more time, the choices are Jack the Ripper, the Long Island serial killer, D.B. Cooper, or just an open discussion on serial killers. And the way I'm doing this is I'm just literally counting all the comments. Like if we have this number of comments for Jack the Ripper and we have this number of comments for the Long Island serial killer. And I was quite surprised that this is actually neck and neck, to be honest. Normally, when I do these poll things, it's like a landslide one way or the other. But at first, D.B. Cooper was running away with this. Like everybody was voting for D.B. Cooper. Then there were a lot of votes for the Long Island serial killer. What podcast segment would you like to hear about? Please put your idea down in the comments section, and feel free to visit any of the future things that come out about the disappearance of Donna Lass, particularly Michael Morford's podcast on December 18th of 2021. You can follow him, Zodiac Killer Net, on Twitter. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.